Hello, my name is Joshua Keith, and this is theburningcoal.com, a website dedicated to God's glory, His grace, and our response to it. Today we're going to be talking about being thankful for comfort. Now, if you remember, we are going to do this in conjunction with our Monday motivation. On our Monday motivation, we talked about being mournful, and we got that from Matthew chapter 5. And verse 4 says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." And we talked about this idea of mourning, how it's important for us to mourn the fact that we are, in fact, poor in spirit, that we have sinned against the creator of the universe. And we have personally offended him. But not just that, we've also made complete wreckage of our lives. We have sinned against those that we love. We've sinned against those who are around us. And so because of that, we should be sad about the consequences of our actions. But we will be comforted. That's what Jesus tells us, that if we mourn, there is a comfort that comes with that. There is a comfort that comes from God. And so it's good for us to mourn, and that does not justify being unhappy and grumpy all the time. But instead, it allows us to take comfort not from ourselves, not from our own achievement, but from God. What does that comfort look like? Well, first of all, we see that we are able to get absolution from God. And this is really important because, again, when we come face to face with our sin, it should sadden us that the God who has put us at the pinnacle of His creation, we said, you know what? I don't care. Get away from me. I'm going to do what it is that I want. And we mourn that attitude. We mourn the cavalier way that we took God's gift and we threw it back in His face. And so now we come before God and we say how sorry we are, how poor in spirit that we are, that we can't do anything to make it right. And instead of God saying, you know what, you are absolutely correct, get out of here, God says, my son, my daughter, come to me. He takes us into His arms. He brings us into His family. He makes us a part of His inheritance. And so, yes, we should be sad about the way that we have treated our God. But because of His love for us, He will offer us that comfort when we repent. And He will bring us back into His fold. On top of that, we are taught righteousness as well. Now, it may be strange to think that we get comfort from righteousness, because when we think about righteousness, we might think about the fact that, oh wait, God is telling us all these things that we can't do, all these things that we're supposed to give up, that we're supposed to put behind us. But those were the things that I enjoyed. I wanted to do them. That's why I did them. And so now I'm supposed to get comfort out of being taught righteousness? But again, it goes back to understanding what we were mourning. Again, we wrecked our lives. We wrecked those around us because we decided to be prideful, because we decided to be sinful. We hurt those that we love. And now God is trying to say, there is a better way. I can teach you how to make things right, how to do things right, how to be someone who shows love and compassion, not anger and bitterness and strife. And so we can take comfort in the fact that God not only brings us into His family, but He teaches us how to stop doing the things that caused us to mourn in the first place. And then finally, He has promised us this better home. This place where there will be no tears, where there will be no sadness. Because He is there. Because the sin that we have is going to be gone forever. It is going to be a place without the things that caused us to mourn. And so we will be given comfort now because of our relationship with God. Because we are being taught the way that we need to live so that we stop doing things wrong. But we also know that there's an even greater comfort that is awaiting us, and that we will be comforted in that home with our Father in heaven forever. I hope that this lesson blesses you in your walk in His kingdom.